So in our last class, we started talking about how to translate present active participles. So we began to see how they looked in a sentence and how to translate them. But I want to spend some time going into more detail on how to do that. So the first thing that we should do is know where they come from a verb. Since today we are talking about present active participles, we are referring to the ones that when you translate it will always end with an ing. The singing lady, the sitting duck, the dancing unicorn, the loving woman, all of these things. So let's take a look to see where it comes from. So remember last time that your verb or your participle is going to end with ns or have an nt in it. So what it comes from is your second principal part, your infinitive, and you would take off your re, so that would create ama, and then you would add ns, and this is your nominative singular. So if you were talking about something in the nominative singular, like the loving girl, you would see amans puella. Now, all present active participles are in the third declension, so that's the varies isi, I, em, es, ibis, s, ibis. So if I go to the genitive singular, it changes slightly. The genitive, which is if you ever see it in a chart, they will always tell you like this: amans, amantis. You'll see that nt of the loving girl. Both of these are genitive. Let's go on to the dative. Amanti pu li. To the loving girl. The accusative, mantem pu lam, and then the ablative is amante pu la. Well, that's great and all, but why is it important to know that these adjectives, sorry, I forgot the E here, go particularly with these nouns? So when we had the sentences earlier yesterday, we could have sentences like Puella, the girl, in domo, in the house, sedens, est bella. So we have the sedens here, and we're trying to figure out what it's going with. Well, the obvious thing is houses don't usually sit. But it's important to note that puella is nominative, and your participle will also match that. So just like adjectives match the gender, case, and number, your participles will match too, because this is technically an adjective. So let's do one more. So in the last time we were here, we talked about being able to notice them. By them, I mean our participles. We learned that it will either have an nt in it or going to end with an ns if it's nominative singular. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this because I know that this is my participle. And I know festinabat is my verb. So let's just go ahead and go into our verb or our comma. So we know that festinabat is, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how pens work. We know festinabat, the nt is letting me know I'm looking for something that's nominative plural. Well, I actually have two things that could be nominative plural. Sewi and cuarentes. Well, this lets me know that the fact that this is nominative plural, it is going to describe something that is also nominative plural, meaning sewi. We know this was happening in the past because of this BA, and then your actual verb is to hurry. So we have the slaves were rushing through the house, and what were they also doing? Finding the doctor. Now, let me explain to you what this is and what it is not. So you see when I wrote down the sentence that I do not have any sort of helping verb right here, searching. You'll never see is searching or was searching. anything like that for a participle, because that would not make it a participle, that would make that a verb. Because if I wanted to say that the slaves are rushing through the house and were searching for the doctor, I wouldn't use the word quadentes. I would use quade, I think it's next to R-E, bant. They were searching for the doctor. So you will not use any of these helping words, and translating such changes the entire meaning of the participle. So let's see how you guys do on your own today.